So welcome to another episode of Relevant Features Podcast. And today we have a very special guest, man. Somebody that's doing this thing out here on the content side, and delivering a broad message to people that they can do it too, be out here and helping them, build a successful brand through content with a great message behind and the story. So I want to introduce you guys to no other than Dontell Antonio.
What's going on, King? You did an amazing intro. First of all, I want to commend you on that as well. And the reason why I'm saying that, because we just had a conversation and you saying that you overcoming stuff when it comes to this camera. So I just want to commend you for even having a platform, because a lot of people wouldn't even have a platform. So that's hard.
Yeah, you got to break barriers, man. I stepped out on faith, on fear, out of fear from knowing that I could do this, man. No matter if I stumble, I can pick myself back up.
That's it.
And keep working through it. You know what I'm saying? You got to work through the trenches with this.
Yeah. And this changed lives, man, especially when you on your side, you're considered a reporter, right? And as you become a reporter, as long as you get dope people and stand yourself next to dope people, you become, right? So that's that Oprah effect. Oprah, she became dope because she interviewed dope people. Right. And so that's how you scale and grow. And so literally that's what you're doing, man. And having a platform to allow people to come and speak is number one.
For sure. That's why I got you here, man. You dope, bro. You see you doing your thing, and I had to get you on here, man, because I'm like, I got to show people that, I got some, I can, bring some people on here that's really affecting, and helping lives and building content on a whole another level to help them to be successful with their brands, bro. And you doing it.
It's
that's
necessary.
why I had to have you on here.
I'm here. I showed up. I wasn't playing with you.
For sure. So I know, you told me a little bit about you off camera, but tell the people a little bit about you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm cool, but what I love to do is talk about the people and help the people, right? Yeah. So my whole goal is to serve the people. Right. Everything that I do is to serve the people. I'm a kid from Chicago, crack baby, project baby. Right. Daddy got killed when I was 1. Mother was on dope. You know what I'm saying? And I had to, do what I had to do to survive. And so literally what I thought about it, I was like, man, so many people saved my life that wasn't blood and wasn't in relations to me, that I have to serve the people. If God allowed me to get a voice like I got, I'm gonna serve the people and I'm gonna empower the people, because if I can empower the people, we can break a lot of generational curses. And I just use a vehicle like content, because I've been doing content since 13. And so I'm like, man, this is really my passion, and I'm just able to talk to the world and impact the world through this vehicle. And so that's what I do. I make sure I help so many brands and businesses tell their stories, speak to their audience, grow their business, because if they grow their business, they can create generational wealth. And if they create generational wealth, then that means they're going to break generational curses, and they're going to create legacies where they can pass down their business, because we don't see that a lot in our community.
You got that right. For sure. That's exactly. Yep. Yeah. So how did your love and passion for content creation start, man? Because you've been doing this for a while, as you said. Yeah. So how did it, when did you know that you're like, man, I love this thing. I'm going to keep pushing with it.
I didn't know what it was at first that I loved, right? And I started at 9, I was a rapper at 9, right? And so at 9, while I was rapping, that's creative. That's creative. I was creating content, but I didn't realize it. I had a little studio in a closet with a karaoke machine and some tapes and all of that. And then next when I turned 13, we was putting out a little album, right? And so a guy who was doing the graphic design, he took too long. And so I hit him up. I say, man, can I get that program that you using so I can do the graphics? And I stayed up 24 hours at 13, and it been a wrap. And my whole life I was doing graphic design from there, graphics, photos, videos. And it's just been a love, because you literally get to see somebody's vision or ideas or dreams come to life with what I do. Right. And so being behind the scenes, somebody have an idea and you can bring it to life. Oh, that's like creating a new baby. That's like giving life to something, because you're giving life to a seed that's inside of them. And I just loved it. And I haven't stopped. So even from middle school, I was doing the graphics in middle school. High school, I was doing all the graphics for the high school. Then I went to Art Institute of Atlanta for graphics, and then I switched to photography. Then I picked up video. So literally, I was just like, yo, I'm not here to play.
That's what make the difference right there. Your mind would say you elevated and leveled up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And took it to the next level, but you kept educating yourself, and it shows though. It definitely shows.
Yeah.
Sure.
I read a lot. I invest a lot. Like I invest a whole lot because I understand what the big picture look like, but even when I first started filming, I started filming artists. So I started dealing with artists because I was like, what can I do to help artists? And at that time, I blew up an artist named Kcamp. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but I was part of his whole success. And then I'm like, I started helping so many other artists. And then I got to I got big in the music video side. And I was like, man, I don't want to do this no more. Because artists only can give me artists. And I was like, man, I want to do more. And I went to shoot movies. And then I shot a movie and I was in Forbes. I was in all of this stuff from a movie I shot. But at that time, I realized, I'm like, man, I shot this out of my own pocket. I spent $100,000 out of my own pocket. And so I was like, man, I need to do that better. That didn't make sense. And so I started learning financial literacy. And once I learned financial literacy, I took it to a whole nother level. And I just started helping businesses because it's not a lot of content creators that actually been in business full time for over a decade, also understand business, but also understand people, understand funding, understand scale and growth. So I'm a hybrid. I'm mixing so much stuff in one. So when I create content for these brands and businesses, I know what they should say and how they should say.
Right. That's the key right there, though. That's the key for sure. So how do you help business owners create content that actually generates sales? Since you know you've done it for quite a while, so I'm sure you know the keys. You got the keys to the car.
I mean, it's simple. If you can resonate with your perfect client, if you can create impactful content, you will make them raise their hand instead of chase them. And so we create content to make our perfect client raise their hand and come work with us. But once they come work with us, we have the system and the infrastructure in the back end to make sure that we scalable, making sure that we get value, making sure that our offers is there. But then we also got tier systems in the back, right? So you can scale. And that's why our clients go from probably no money to 6 figures to 7 figures to 8 figures, because we understand the full formula. But the entry point is impactful content, because if you're not putting out content that resonate with that person who your service or your product is for, you always gonna miss them.
Wow. Yeah, right. And that's facts. And a lot of people get it wrong because they don't realize that part of it.
Yeah, they just want to sell. But if you think about it like this, if your cousin call you today, actually for $20, you might give it to him. But if he call you tomorrow, actually for $20 again, you're going, no. And then he call you a third day in a row, you ain't picking up. But that's the same thing when it comes to content. If all you begging is for people money and you're not giving them no value, why should they support you? Why should they buy? They're not. And so that's why people's sales ain't going like they want to. Content equals sales. So if your sales is doing bad, that means your content is bad.
Exactly. They go hand in hand.
They cousins.
For sure. So so I did some research, on, that you have like a book, and you actually have a content planner book called the Content Bible, and as well as you have another book called Broke Creators Don't Make Money. So there you go. See, so I did my research on you and everything else. So how does those, having those as a guide to help someone to build their content, how does that?
All right, so this first one right here, this was actually Broke Creators Don't Make Money, Learn the Business of Being a Creative. This was my book I actually made for creatives to learn the business side. So I gave them my first 8 years how I made my first $1 million, right? And so I literally give them step-by-step blueprint of how they can go do the same thing. Because a lot of creatives, they only know how to be creative, but they don't know the business side. But you got to understand that it's 90% business and 10% creative. If you understand the business side, no matter what it is that you do, you will scale and grow. And that book is a business book for creatives and business owners to really understand business, because a lot of people don't, especially when you fresh into business. Right. And then the other one is my content Bible. It's a planner, and it's literally to help you, create more content quickly, but create the right content. And it's a 6-month guide helping you create impactful content so you can make your first 6 figures. But now I got a new book we're working on right now that's about to be out shortly, and it's called Content Growth Secrets. And it's the levels of content that you ain't never heard before. So it's the strategies and everything. So this is what my clients made 6 figures, 7 figures with, right? And so we're gonna give out those blueprints so people can scale.
Yeah, there we go. That's what they need. That's what we all need, for sure.
So we're working on that right now. Like we work, like literally it should be done in the next 60 days.
For sure. Can't wait for that to drop. Y'all stay tuned and look out for that, for sure.
Yeah.
So I know you said you actually, you was a movie director as well at one point, when you first started, finding yourself with being a director. How did you start out, with becoming a film director?
Well, I started off with music videos. If you go look at my music videos, they all look like movies.
Right.
It was just 3 minutes long. And so then I started transitioning from there. I was getting paid to practice there. So I was dealing with Def Jam, Universal, Sony, Columbia, like all the record labels you think of, I did business with. Right. And literally they loved me because my stuff looked at like movies, and they didn't have to pay a crazy amount to make it happen. Right. I was able to use the tools that we had to make it happen. And so they always called me to deal with their new artists or whatever. And so literally I just practiced with them. And then I was like, man, I want to shoot my own movies. I just want to take the leap of faith and go. And I started, and I took the leap of faith, and I did a few movies. I did one with Simone. I did one with DC Young Fly. And then I did my own movie, and I was just like, man, I'm spending too much money. Right. Like, because movies, you're not making no money until like later. Like it take a long time to recoup your money. And so if like you put out a lot of you spend a lot of money, it ain't gonna come back like next day. Like it probably come back in a few years. And so I was like, man, I got to do something better. And so that's when I went to understand financial literacy, so I wouldn't ever use my money again. And I started using OPM.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But for those don't know what OPM means,
other people money.
Other people money. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And so I really learned like probably like 2016, I started learning like the banking systems and how to leverage credit, business credit, and all of that stuff. And it allowed me to, excel on a whole nother level.
For sure. So how would you measure the performance of your content, your content and marketing? How would you measure your success of that?
I mean, it depends on what you're putting out and how it's returning. I think a lot of people don't know how to measure it because they only looking for likes and views. We looking for leads and sales. So when we looking for leads and sales, it's different. Like, okay, how many leads from this piece of content? How much money? Like, so I can put out a piece of content right now, and I know I could generate 50K, right? Because I know what I'm saying in the content, and I know what it's driving them to do. And so what you want to do is making sure that you're consistent with it, right? So you can't just start off, put out a piece of content and expect to have those results, because you got to brainwash the people first, right? And that sounds bad, but you got to stay so consistent that they know what the hell it is that you do. Exactly. Because right now most people are posting so many different things. We don't even know what it is that you do. You posting 12 million different businesses. Right. So really get focused, narrow focus. I call it missile focus. Get missile focus on one product, one service, and go so hard and solve so many problems in your content, which is show the conversions, because the people are going to start coming into your world that need help with whatever it is that you solve. For sure. And so that's how we see it. We literally see it about your leads, how your leads, how many leads you get from your content. But you got to move the content. You can't just post it there, talk to an audience who wasn't meant for the content. You got to put the content in front of the people it was meant for.
Right. A lot of people get that mixed up. That's one of the biggest things. And I've struggled with at times myself. I'll be real with you, and transparent about that. That a lot of us, come into the game trying to make content because you are available you have the access to do so with the lack of direction. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. With the total lack of direction and knowing which way to go with it. So you're absolutely right about that. So what is your content strategy, thoughts, and process? What do you look out for in that order?
I mean, for me, the process is just a customer journey. Like I look at my clients and I see what kind of journey do they take their customer through. And so if your client, if they journey is so hard to get to that finish line with you, then we simplify it. And so because sometimes you'll probably tell people, hey, click the link in my bio. But then when they click the link in your bio, you send them to your website that got 12 pages. And then when you get to the 12 pages, now they get confused and now they leave and now they don't never do business with you. Or they get there and now you're making them fill out a form, which you might, now they got to wait on your email and you might not get the email because it go to the spam. Or like we really go in and see what the customer journey is and we make it super, super simple. So once they do see that content can convert them quicker and easier. So it's all about your customer journey. If your customer journey is complex, like if it's complex, the person gonna leave regardless.
Right.
No matter what you are, simplify, simple.
Right.
And so that's what we do.
Exactly. And that's the key, because like you just said, it's so hard for a lot of people to get access to what they looking for if you got all of that mess going on before they get to
somebody,
it. Like, hey.
Yeah, you trying to show all your talents, man. Right. We don't want to see all your talents, man. Just show us one product thing that we coming for. I don't want to see that you do this, that. That don't matter, man.
Right.
Like, focus on one thing.
Right, exactly. Not overthinking, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So how do you tailor your content to your audience, and how do you make a boring subject interesting?
I mean, I don't think nothing should be boring if you're talking to your consumer, right? Nothing. I don't even think that word should exist. But literally, you just thinking about their problems. The biggest thing is breaking a belief that they once had about what it is that you offer. And once you break that belief, you wanna put in a new belief. And don't just leave that belief there. So we replace we break the old belief, replace it with a new belief, and show them what they can become.
Right.
And so that's what we do in our content. Like, it probably sound mad advanced because it is, but literally we change their thinking inside of the content.
Right. Exactly. Which you have to for sure.
Yeah. What happened is so many people think that you got to personally talk to everybody. No, that one piece of content can do so much good to the world because it can spread quicker than just you as one person. And so you want to think about that person. Our message is only geared to one person. And so we learn everything about that one person. So when we put out content, that piece of content always hit that one person. Not everybody. We don't talk to everybody. I talk to one person. And so that's why we do extremely well, because we talk to one person, and it just happened to be that one person. It's a lot of the one persons.
Right. Within that, they don't get. Some people don't get that part of it when you say one person. That's a particular category of one person.
Yeah, and so we literally and we literally go in like we got blue oceans, you know what I'm saying? We become specialists in whatever it is that we do, and that's what we help our clients become. See, because if you go to a doctor, you got a general doctor that can just look at you, do everything, say, okay, cool, you cool. But then if you got a heart problem, you gotta go to a heart specialist. You can't go to that general doctor for that. And so what we do is we help our clients become specialists in whatever market that they in.
Exactly. There you go. That's well said, for sure. Sure. So which platform do you think is the best platform for content creators? So I know this is a particular, thing where this can be, biased in a sense.
No. I just think the best platform is the best platform for you.
Exactly.
Whichever is easiest for you. If Facebook is good for you, you go to Facebook. If TikTok good for you, go to TikTok. If YouTube if Instagram, whatever platform that you naturally already own is the platform you need to dominate first. I tell people, don't try to do all these platforms. Like I got 31 employees, so I can do so many different platforms. But when you getting started, you can't. It's just you. So you need to focus on one platform and dominate. You need to use every tool, every resources, and dominate that platform until you make the money that you need to start hiring team members.
Exactly. Because you try to spread yourself, man.
You gonna burn out.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I done done that, bro. I just try to spread myself and say, not enough people go see me here, so let me try to go all over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah. You got to put the money in on that one platform so the people can see you. Because you got to think, if we got billions of people on Facebook, on Instagram, everybody ain't seeing your ass yet. They ain't seen you, so keep going. Same thing with Facebook, keep going. Same thing with YouTube, keep going. Whatever the platform it is, right? And then once that content do well, now you break it down because you made the resources to break it down and push it on the other stuff. But don't just let it live one time, let it live forever. That means you're going to always keep recycling that content anyway.
Exactly. There you go.
Yeah.
So it become unforgettable at that point.
Facts.
For sure. So, so what is your typical process for editing and proofreading content?
Oh man, my team do that, right? I don't do that. I don't do that part. But what they do is literally, I'll just tell you the system we do it is, so we got a team full of editors, and so we'll upload it to like a Dropbox, and the editing team will get it. We'll green light the edit, and once we green light the edit, we'll use a program like Frame.io to do quick reviews, and then once we do that, we'll go in and we'll put text on stuff and all of that stuff, and then once we put the first round of text, then we'll proofread it. So we have somebody from our social media department come in and proofread it and make sure it's together, and then at that same time they're creating the captions and everything, and then if it's a green light, then they'll schedule it in a software so it can go out live.
There you got the whole format, the whole formula. For sure. So So to sustain one channel is a lot of work. So how do you manage it all? Pretty much you kind of already stated this.
Yeah.
Within like having a team. So I'm going delegate, like go to a whole
but let me say, I said even if you somebody that's by yourself, right?
Right, you're by yourself.
If you somebody by yourself, have days. So if this Wednesday is YouTube, if Monday is Facebook, and if Wednesday is this, whatever, just have days for the platforms where you are focused on a particular platform for half of the day, and then the other half of the day you focus on the main one. So you just spend half of the day, and then you like, okay, this whatever your main channel, if it's Instagram, oh, this performed really good, let's move it over to YouTube. And then YouTube, I like to use a thing like TubeBuddy, and so we can see all the analytics and stuff like that, and we move it from there. And then from there we might move it to Facebook, and from Facebook to Twitter, we'll take a quote out and we'll put the quote on Twitter or whatever it may be. Just give it a day and delegate your time if it's just you by yourself, because it's possible. It's just you got to have great discipline and delegation for time management. Right.
So let me ask you this, another question I want to ask you. So before you had a team, what was your process like when you got
I wasn't doing all of it. I wasn't doing
exactly,
all. I just on one.
Right, exactly. Right.
I ain't gonna flex. I wasn't doing it all. Nah, man, I wasn't doing it all.
Exactly.
I wasn't doing it. I was just focused on Instagram.
Exactly. Okay. So so how do you so what makes a piece of content successful in your opinion?
I mean, I think a piece of content that's successful is the person, if the content reaches the person it was meant to reach. That's it. Like, we're not talking numbers, we're not talking views, we talking impact.
Right.
See, a lot of people, we think about likes and views, but I know a lot of people that likes and views, we forget about the piece of content.
Right.
But if that content can change somebody, like even for you, you said, man, Dontell, I looked at a piece of your content and it helped me break my camera shyness. You see what I'm saying? That's called impactful content.
Right.
It's the difference. That piece of content didn't have to get a lot of likes and views. It changed somebody's life. And that does that every day for me. All my content do is change lives.
Exactly.
Because it's impactful. Like I own it. Like I own a thing called impactful content. Like you can look it up, like trademark, I own it. So our whole system, I own it. And so we teach you how to create that type of content, because that type of content, see, think about this. You didn't become a client, but now you got me on your platform because that piece of content resonated with you. That was a win. Right. So anytime your content can get you a further level or another position, then you win. Right.
Exactly. So,
that's what makes a successful piece of content.
Absolutely. So what inspired you to create motivational videos that people motivates you, that you believe in?
Oh, what makes me personally create motivational videos?
Yes, what made you? Because I know that, watching your content, you make a lot of motivational videos. And I know from the looks of watching your motivational videos, you're genuine and passionate about everything you say, bro. You know what I'm
100%.
saying? And I believe it. And that's what it's about, So what brings that out of you, to do so?
It's real. It's real. But you want to know my whole career, like I told you, I've been doing this for over a decade, right? And everybody always came to me for over, like, a lot of you now, any place I go to, any malls, any place, I ain't like famous or nothing, but people know me, and they say, yo, Dontell, you inspire me, you motivate me. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I wasn't putting out content that does that. I'll do it every now and then, but they love my inspiration and motivation over my work. And they've been like that my whole career. Somebody, moms, wives, girlfriend, brothers, sisters, like everybody loved the motivation, and I inspired them. And so what we did was focus a little more on the inspiration, but we talking to our PC, we talking to our perfect client, we letting them know that they can scale their business and they can't stop right now. We understand how hard life get, but if they put a little more into it, they'll get a little more. And so we talk to our direct client inside of our videos because that's what they love from me.
Right, exactly. Because, man, I'm not gonna lie,
and like it's real and raw.
It's right. Raw. No, that's what I respect about you. Because seeing it, I was like, man, he is, you know, raw as it can be with it. Like he telling them just like it, telling people just like it is, and how, you know, you're not sugarcoating any of it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I can't, because I put all my own money up, right? So my whole career, I put millions of dollars up, invested in myself. And so I don't have nobody above me pulling those strings. So I can say what the hell I want to say when I won't say it. You know what I'm saying? But I teach my clients how to do the same.
Exactly. And you got to respect being genuine for sure. Sure. That resonates for sure.
Yeah.
So, so how do you stay inspired to continue to make fresh content? What keeps you going to stay, you know, motivated to keep making
the people like man, every day I get nice. Like I don't run my social media, but I see it every day, right? But I see my team like sending me stuff like, man, oh man, Dontell, this just changed my life. This that did that. Oh my gosh, man, this was right on time. Like it's the people, like, yo, this video, I needed this. This just broke something for me. This just resonated. Like the people need it. If you knew that 90% of the world was hurting, then you would do something to help them. So 90% of the world is hurting. And so we doing what we can to help them. And the way we do it is with content and showing them that it's possible for their business to grow and scale. Absolutely. But I'm keeping it real with them. I teach a style called the raw truth. Like I teach you how to do the raw truth and to be your raw self and be authentic. Like we ain't trying to be nobody else. We only know how to be us. Exactly. And so we teach you how to be you instead of trying to be somebody else on social media. That's why your content ain't resonating, because you ain't you.
Exactly. Eventually you're gonna feel people gonna be exposed to what's real and what's fake. I feel like, you know.
But I mean, like it's at the real always gonna last forever.
Exactly, for sure. So so how do you see your content or content in general and evolving in the future? Like, where do you see that going?
Content been the world, you know, content go all the way back to the Egyptians. Right. So content will forever. Like if you think about some of your favorite artists that's dead and gone, they content, we still watching their videos, we still listen to their music. Content gonna be here once we die. Right. It don't matter. Content is forever. Exactly. It's gonna keep being what it is and what it been. It's just a lot of people wasn't online as much since because before the pandemic, and when the pandemic happened, it been okay to be online. It been okay to get e-learning. It been okay to talk and do Zooms. Everything became okay to do. But it been here.
Right. It's just a different form of it. It evolves, you know.
Yeah.
For sure. So so what is one thing that you have accomplished in your career that you feel extremely proud of, you know, that you have done up to this point?
I think creating a family, like my wife and my kids, I think that's the biggest thing. And being able to support my family, you know, my wife and my kids, and giving them a different lifestyle than what I have. I mean, I know you say a career, but that's my career. My family is everything. So I think just being able to give them opportunities that I ain't never had. Right. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no monetary problems, no dream problems, whatever they want, they get, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's the biggest thing, because everything that I'm doing for what I'm doing today is to build generational legacy and wealth and everything. So that's my biggest accomplishment. Anything else, human form, don't mean nothing to me. But being able to give my family an opportunity, but also help so many other families get opportunities as well, I think that's the biggest accomplishment for me.
For sure. I agree with that statement, for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely, it's beyond what a career could be for you. It's more so about what you leave behind when you go. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, but people remember you by, for sure.
Yeah.
And I respect that, honestly.
Yeah.
So, so I wanted to ask you, I want to wrap up the show, and honestly, thank you for being on the show. But I want to ask, could you leave some words of encouragement for that content creator that's struggling right now, is trying to figure out how they can find their way? What would you say to that person that's emerging, you know?
I'm going to just say to universal, right? Not even content creators, but I'm saying business owners, people in general, just go for it. Like, I think the biggest thing that you can do is actually take the risk. By you overthinking the risk, you ain't never going to understand if it would have worked or not. So just take the risk. And if it don't work, you're going to learn something. But don't be scared to learn something, because it's somebody else doing what you're doing, but they ain't scared to go all in. And the ones who ain't scared to go all in are the ones who go all in, and they get to levels that you only dreamed of, but you didn't make it to it because you didn't take that dream and turn it into reality. So take every opportunity right now and turn it to reality. Don't make no excuses. Don't listen to nobody around you. Just go and go now, even if you don't got all of the tools and resources, because they gonna come. But take it now and do it now, and whatever comes is gonna come.
That's a word for sure, man. Yeah. I needed that. That's like a bar for sure. So, like I said, once again, I thank you for giving the time to make the time to actually, be able to be available, for the show. Yeah. And could you let the people know where they can find you, Dontell, man? I really appreciate it, bro.
I mean, literally, you can find me online. Dontell Antonio is my Instagram. That's Dontell Antonio. Also, what I do is every month I got a teaching workshop. I got one that's 3 days, and I teach you how to create impactful content. And so you can go to createbettercontentchallenge.com and sign up for it, so you can really learn how to create this impactful content and take your business to the next level. And literally, we do it every month. We teach hundreds of people how to create impactful content so they can scale their business, and you could be one of those people. So go to createbettercontentchallenge.com.
For sure. And like I said, once again, I appreciate you for your time. I'm definitely looking to want to possibly network with you outside of even, the show.
I know we in tune, King. We in tune.
I definitely want to stay in tune and because I'm building myself within all of this as well. And like I will continue to feel motivated by everything that you do, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely want to stay locked in with you. You know what I'm saying? And
we in tune.
You know what I'm saying? For sure.
We in tune, King.
So thank you guys for being on this, for checking out the show. Follow me on all social media platforms at Tristan Heyward, as well as check out the show on YouTube, subscribe at Relevant Features Podcast and on the show. And once again, we'll see you in the next one.
Hold it, little buddy.